Aloha and welcome to A Course in Miracles. We're doing the workbook for students and we're doing the review lessons. This lesson is lesson 119 and we're reviewing lesson 107, Truth Will Correct All Errors in My Mind, and 108, To Give and to Receive Are One in Truth. So let's look at the first lesson that we're reviewing. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. I am mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. I am God's Son, whose self, with a capital S, rests safely in the mind of God. Okay, this is the idea that we're going to review at the top of each hour. And it's also the first idea that we're going to do sort of an extended review first thing when we wake up, if we possibly can. I'm mistaken when I think I can be hurt in any way. Now, if you find you're resisting that statement any, it's probably because you still think of yourself as a body rather than spirit. And that's very hard not to think of yourself as a body when that's all that you really ever known yourself to be in this world, in your memory, in your brain. And everyone else thinks of themselves as a body, and that's how we relate to each other. But the body is the idea. The body is the manifestation of the idea, the ego's idea of separation. That we are separate from each other in these bodies, walking around unable to join. I mean, we think we're joining when we join in the body, to come together and become one flesh. But the Course teaches that that's not really true, that only minds can join. And that's what we are being taught to think of ourselves as thoughts, as mind, as spirit. And mind and spirit, the Course teaches, cannot be hurt. It can't suffer lack. It can't suffer at all. It can't attack or be attacked. Only bodies can attack and be attacked in truth. So the Course is trying to get us to let go of this idea that we've always had, that we are a body, or even that we are some kind of a trinity, like a body, soul, and spirit, soul, and body. We are, in reality, the body is only a limiting factor, and as long as we ever think of ourselves as a body, and that's all we are, then we will believe that we can be hurt, that we can suffer loss, that we can get sick, that we can die. Of course. But this says the truth will correct all errors in my mind. And the error in my mind is that I am separate. That I am a body, that I'm not one with God, I'm not one with you or with anyone else. I'm just alone, separated by these walls, or this body that acts like a wall or a fence that fences me off from everyone else. And that's not true. And the truth will correct this error in our mind and show us that we are really God's Son, whose self, our true self, rests in the mind of God. We've never left the mind of God. That's ideas don't leave their source. And we are an idea in the mind of God. And we've never fallen away. We've never, in truth, we've never left. Our sins have not separated us from God. We are not separated from God or the love of God or our true self. We've just forgotten who we are. We're like in a play. We're like characters in a book, playing out these characters, not realizing that what we think we are, me is Micah, a person who lives on the island of Hawaii that has friends and all this, does not exist. I'm like a mythical figure, really, or an allegorical figure in a story that I've made up, or my ego made up. And that's all. That's what I think I am. But that is really an illusion. And the truth is going to correct that error in my mind so that I can see that I'm God's Son and that my true self rests safely. I can't be hurt. I'm safe in the mind of God. And then the idea at the bottom of the hour that we're going to be remembering every 30 minutes, and at the end of the day, is to give and to receive are one. They're like two sides of the same coin. They can't be separated. You can't have a top without a bottom or an inside without an outside. Giving and receiving are one. So whatever I give, I'm always giving to myself. If I condemn, give condemnation, I'm always just condemning myself. If I give love, forgiveness, peace, I'm giving that to myself. And giving and receiving seem like they're separate only because we believe in time, but really they happen together, the Course teaches. So what does that mean for us who are trying to have the truth correct the errors in our mind? Well, this is the tool that the Course uses, forgiveness. When we give forgiveness to someone else, we're always forgiving ourselves. So I will forgive all things today, no matter what happens to you, no matter what has ever happened to you in the past, or will happen, or things you see happening to other people. Whatever it is, I will forgive all things. Why? In order that I may learn how to accept the truth in me. This is how we learn, by forgiveness. Forgiving is the key. That's the secret to happiness. Because through forgiveness, we learn how to accept the truth in me. And we come to recognize our sinlessness. That's how we come to recognize who we are. The sinless Son of God. It's through forgiveness, because of the law of giving and receiving, which are one. So these are two powerful lessons today, powerful ideas. One of them, the truth will correct all the errors in my mind, and it's going to use the law of giving and receiving, because when I forgive someone else, the illusions that I think, the sins that I think they've done to me. Because remember, we're not forgiving something that's really happened. You know, if you see something in a movie or read something in a book that hasn't really happened, that's kind of how, think of it that way, that you're not forgiving something that really happened, because the world is not real. The world is an illusion. And so the world is the ego's way of proving to us through these bodies that it is right, that we have separated from God, that we've fallen away, that we're sinners, that we deserve to be judged, and all the rest. But forgiveness we forgive these things because they never happen in truth. Just like when you wake up in the morning, even if you had a horrible dream, you can let it go because it wasn't real. It never happened. And that's kind of the basis for forgiveness in A Course in Miracles. Not that I'm going to be better than someone else by forgiving them of something that they really did to me. But no, I'm forgiving illusions. And I know that's hard to do. And sometimes if someone's not ready for this idea, this freeing, powerful idea that saves us, can often sound very cruel and vicious. What do you mean this didn't happen? How can you say that? You're so cruel. Well, we don't really say that. You don't. The Course, this idea of the Course is not for someone who's not ready for it. You have to really want a better way. You've tried everything else and nothing has set you free. Nothing else has saved you. And so you're ready for a better way. And you're saying there must be a better way. And this is the better way that works, is through forgiving illusions, forgiving others of the sins that we think that we've committed and that have been committed against us. So, awesome stuff, you guys. Awesome. And my prayer for you and my prayer for me is that we will come closer to really experiencing these ideas today, the truth, correcting the errors in our mind. Because as that really happens, as we forgive and the truth begins to correct these errors in our mind, and let us know that we are a son of God, and then our self rests safely in the mind of God. That experience and that joy and that peace is going to keep us moving along in this Course in Miracles. So, mahalo for spending time with me today and doing this course with me, because we are one and we are set free together. Bless you, love and peace to you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Aloha.